It's the second day I did this in a row. I have been talking and got my stuff out here and forget that I am on mute. Okay, so I'm gonna start over with what I was saying. Thank you, Delay. I was saying that I believe QB1 will be Kaidon Salter. He has the most experience at the college level. I know he's the most ready. He's been soaking up knowledge like a sponge. He's been showing out in practice, just being him, not doing anything extra or being pretentious. He's just confident. That's who he is. I said I would like for Kaidon Salter to lead us to victory versus Georgia Tech, set the tone for the rest of the season. I think Juju will be a fine quarterback. I think Juju has more development, not just at the QB level, but also at the personal level. With a lot of things that y'all see with some of these young people, how they're not, doing too well when it comes to coping with things that, we just want to allow Juju, who's only 17, possibly 18 by now, should still be a senior in high school, to just develop a little more personally as a person. I think Kaidon is there. 5 years of college, getting ready for the pros, confident, already had a perfect season. I think he's going to show out and do what he always does. When he's in practice, you can tell he's poised. I wanted to do a side-by-side, a photo with Kaidon and Shador, because I kind of feel like they're the same quarterback a little bit in terms of poised, unflappability. That's also Kaidon, and we need that. But what Kaidon will have, from what I could see, that Shador didn't have, is a complete O-line. So when the podcast started, can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Thumbs up, because you should be able to hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. All right. Should be good. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, I'm gonna wait till y'all tell me you can't hear me. All right, so I was saying that what I believe that there's a lot of similarities between Kaidon and Shador. The unflappability is very important. Being able to keep your team in the game is very important. I talked about how with the USC game, we were down 21 points in the second quarter. And by the time we got to the second quarter, 12 minutes in, we down 21 points. Shador kept us in the game. He was unflappable. And we came back all the way to what? Thank you, Delay. We came back to, we only lost within 7. It's windy, so just excuse that. So Kaidon will have an O-line. So we did get some new players. All right. So Kaidon is my QB1. And I learned that we got another O-line member from the portal. He came from Memphis. His name is Xavier Hill. I was wondering if any of you knew anything about him. I hadn't heard anything yet. I know the wide receiver we got out the portal was supposed to be the number 1 wide receiver in the portal. So I don't know if this is the number 1 O-lineman. But we did get another O-lineman. He has good size. This is him right here on the right with the dark blue uniform. I think that's 71. So as you can see, his helmet says 901. So yeah, he went to Memphis. So I'm probably going to find out a little bit more about Xavier Hill to find out what we can expect, what made CU select him from the portal. But I will say Kaidon will have an advantage over Shador in terms of, I believe Kaidon will have a complete O-line. I really do. And this young man, Xavier Hill, might round out. Now, understand, the portal opens on Wednesday. It doesn't close until like the 25th. So that's 10 days for us to get somebody else. Now, to my surprise, we got another wide receiver. Now, I was shocked by this because I was saying earlier, I think when I was muted, I was saying earlier that I thought our wide receiver room was complete. We have Sincere Brown. He was the number 1 wide receiver in the portal. And now I thought the room was complete with Quentin Gibson, led by Omarion, Draylon Miller, Timmons, Joseph Williams, Mikhail, and now what's that? That's 7. Mikhail. Oh, and don't forget, is Isaiah focusing primarily on wide receiver? Does anybody know? Mikael, Sincere Brown, and possibly Isaiah Hodge. That's 8. That's 8. That means you have a set of 4 to start and be interchangeable with a second set of 4. So who is the starting 4? And like, who do y'all feel like is the starting 4 for wide receiver? I'm gonna go with Omarion. I'm gonna go with Draylon. I'm going with Timmons. The question is the fourth person Gibson, or is it Joseph Williams? We saw him ball out in practice. Is it Sincere Brown? We just got out of the portal. Is it Isaiah Hodge or Timmons? I mean, I already said Timmons, I think. So that's a lot of people right there. But remember, there was a game. All of our core starting wide receivers got hurt. So we'll have 8. I'm sure there's 4 more out there somewhere. Oh, Caleb Williams is there, right? Isn't he a receiver? He's out there. Then there's Khalil Farrakhan. He's out there. So that's 8, 9, 10. So there's probably 2 more in addition to the other 12 guys. So that's a lot. So y'all let me know who's your starting 4 for wide receiver. And I guess when we get to the spring game this weekend, which will be televised, we'll have an opportunity to see who they start at what position. Okay. Okay, so let's go to my next topic of conversation. All right, so I don't know if y'all heard me say Travis and Shadour's jerseys will be retired this weekend. Rightfully so. 2 and 12 will be off limits for the foreseeable future. I don't know what happens if Travis's brother goes to Colorado. Do they let him wear 12 if he want to wear it? But Shador and Travis will have their jerseys retired this weekend. I don't know if they are planning to both be in Boulder. Next week is a busy week. Like I said, the next 10 days is life-changing for a lot of these young men. So I'm not sure where they'll be. I believe Shador will be in Boulder. I think that Travis said he was going to Green Bay. So, it's a lot going on. That's why I went live twice today talking about Nico. So I might be live today, tomorrow. So y'all turn your notifications on for when I do 2 a days. If you play football, you understood what that was. You have practice twice a day. So it is possible. It is possible that I go live tomorrow. So shout out to Travis and Shador. Congratulations and welcome to Xavier Hill and Sincere Brown. Now, another young man I want to talk about as it pertains to the NFL draft is Cam Ward. So congratulations to Cam Ward for what? He got an endorsement. He is now the face of Under Armour football. So he's been racking up endorsements. And when I was talking about Nico, I went back and did some research because I said, if Miami paid Beck $4 million, how much did Cam Ward get paid? So it looks like overall Cam Ward had $2 million from his sponsorships with Bose, C4 Energy. And at the time, Cam Ward was actually signed with Adidas. He had the apparel and footwear endorsement. So, and with the collective from Miami, it totaled his NIL valuation was $2 million. So congratulations to Cam Ward. He is now the face of Under Armour football. So it seems he's moved on from Adidas and moved on up to Under Armour. I'm happy for him with that. Getting a lot of love right before the draft. And he still has C4 Energy, I believe, and he still has Bose. And when he was at Miami, he had Bose. He gave his entire locker room. I think he gave the locker room on his team. He gave them, the custom Bose headphones, kind of like what Shador did with the Beats. And he still has them. So shout out to Cam Ward going into the draft wealthy, not going into the draft. He already has money. He's already a millionaire. So now when he goes into the draft, if he's the first pick, whoever's the first pick of the draft, I don't know if y'all know this, the first pick of the draft, their contract is fully guaranteed. So, we talked about the 4-year contracts for rookies, but what makes the first pick of the draft so special is their $43 million contract is fully guaranteed. Now, if that will be Cam Ward or not is still undecided. I heard today there was an article saying that Tennessee is still not 100% certain that it wants to draft a quarterback. Then I heard that maybe, possibly, they might get a quarterback but they don't know they might get somebody else. They're thinking about trading Will Levis. They're thinking about sticking with Will Levis. I'm like, this is just a lot of undecisiveness at the last minute. But we talked about that. I said I was never 100% sold on Tennessee picking Cam because Tennessee still didn't get, they didn't deal Will Levis in free agency. So I was like, I could kind of see this turning into a Kirk Cousins situation with Michael Penix Jr. You draft a new guy, but you benched a new guy. And Cam should start. Now, if anybody should start, Cam and Shedeur should both start. So what do y'all think? If Cam don't go to Tennessee, where is he going? Any thoughts? It said, I agree with retire Hunter jersey, but Shedeur, I don't know about that. John, welcome back. Haven't seen you in a minute. And why you don't know about retiring Shedeur jersey? Of course you should retire Shedeur jersey. He broke records for QB at Colorado. Heck, the Baylor game alone should be the reason they retire his jersey. Come on now. He saved the day for Baylor. He, LeJontay, and Travis, and the rest of the guys. But as QB, John, it's funny for you to say that. But welcome back. I'm glad to have you. So we talked about the mock draft. We talked about it in perspective to Shedeur going to the AFC North or the NFC North or the AFC Northwest, whatever. I don't think they're gonna happen in Pittsburgh. They said Shedeur's interview with Pittsburgh was to make Aaron Rodgers hurry up and make a decision. I'm like, why are y'all waiting on Aaron Rodgers? Why do y'all make it so that you let him decide? I don't understand that. Like, that makes absolutely no sense to me. So I don't really think Shedeur is going to Pittsburgh. Shedeur is actually headed to Vegas next week. Now, next week is what day is next week? Let's see. Today is the 14th. A week from today is the 21st. So Shedeur is going to Vegas on the 21st or the 22nd or the 20th. The draft is the 24th. So for Shedeur to be going to Vegas, the very last team he visits, the week of the draft, come on now. Maybe they meant this week. It must be this week. So if it's this week, Shedeur is going to Vegas this week. Does that mean New Orleans wouldn't happen? Man, that's going to be a huge letdown. If Shedeur don't get to go to New Orleans, I'm going to just be like, man, I'm going to be so sad. Because it just made too much sense for Shedeur to go to New Orleans. So, but the fact that he is wrapping up his interviews with Vegas makes me think that it might be Vegas. Even though it says New Orleans is a real possibility. So maybe he goes to Vegas this week and he parts ways with his mentor, Tom Brady, and he goes legendary in his own shoes. And thank you for the opportunity. And he become a New Orleans Saints. Maybe the conversation is, Shedeur, we'd love to have you, but we got Geno Smith. We paying him all this money, and, we don't want you to be QB2. We think you should go to New Orleans so you can start, but you have our full support. And if you need anything, you call us. Maybe that's what the trip about Vegas is. But back to Cam Ward. If Cam does not go to Tennessee, because Tennessee is reported to still be indecisive on should they get a quarterback or not. They need a quarterback, but they need several other things. And Abdul Carter's not going to fix the problem. Drafting Travis Hunter first won't fix the problem. I would think drafting Cam Ward should fix the problem, but they don't seem to think so. It's like Tennessee's trying to hold on to try to figure out Will Levis in this conversation and maybe see if you have Will Levis and you don't think with Will Levis, Travis Hunter will be the solution or Abdul Carter will be the solution, then why the hell would you not pick a quarterback? But they're supposed to be indecisive. So my question to you all was, where does Cam Ward go if Tennessee does not pick him? That is a scenario we have not explored. I kind of touched on it. I said, well, hell, he just go number 2 to Cleveland. What y'all think about that? Cam Ward, number 2 to Cleveland. Okay, it works. It works. I think Cam Ward can go anywhere, to be honest. It's a shame that Tennessee is so indecisive. All right. So that's Cam Ward. Congratulations on a new endorsement from Adidas. Not Adidas. What what is it, Under Armour. He's in good company with Steph Curry for being the face of Under Armour football. All right. So now I have a question. We're gonna lighten it up a little bit. We're gonna add some levity to the conversation. Um, I have a question for y'all. As soon as it pop up on the screen, you're gonna understand what my question is. Now, is Roxy Diaz crushing on Coach Prime? See, a couple of weeks ago, probably about a month ago, maybe when the show started, last November, somewhere between November and December, I kept hearing chatter that people were saying she crushing on Coach Prime. She likes Coach Prime. And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. And then when it was announced that Coach Prime and Carucci were an item coming out of a restaurant together holding hands, once people got beside the fact that Coach Prime was older than Carucci and now nobody cares. I told y'all she's going to be 37 in May. That Roxy was like you could kind of see she was bothered by something as if she didn't know. And if she didn't know and Carucci was her friend and she's the reason Carucci came on the show and Carucci and Coach Prime end up being a thing, but Carucci doesn't tell her and Coach Prime doesn't make her aware, and that's his co-host, I think it might have made her feel like I thought we were better than that. And she kind of seemed a little different after that. And then, she kind of went back to her old self. And when he was on the show talking about Nick Cannon, he was like, Coach Prime said, I might thinking about having another kid. She got a case of whiplash and said, with who? So it kind of looked big sisterly, but he's older than her. But she kind of looked like his little sister, his big sister. Like, who you supposed to be having a child with, right? Of course, he ignored her. But recently, this past week, she had on this blue dress and she came out. And, she had to walk like this because the dress was tight. And I said, I think she like him. I really think, I'm starting to think what people are saying is true. She likes him. And the reason why I put the heart on her, hey, Caroline, how you doing? Is because I think she crushing on him. And when she came out with the blue dress, he was like, okay, try to fight it as a man. In my opinion, he was trying to fight it. Like, okay, fellas, y'all better slide in her DMs. In other words, Coach Prime has made every effort to put it out there that that's not the direction he going where she's concerned, that they are just work buddies or they just friends or it's just a work relationship. That's what it is. It's just a working relationship. He has made it known and he has put that out there. So, I still think she might like him though. And I only recently hopped on that bandwagon pretty late. And everybody else been saying that she likes him. And I'm like, I think she might like him. I think she might really like him. And I think with him and Carucci kind of being seen in public together and then her kind of being her feelings a little bit afterwards, but then now she back to normal self, but now she wearing this tight dress and he got to help her walk up the little platform. I'm like, I know women a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I think she might like Coach Prime. But the crazy part is I don't think he does. I think he likes somebody else. And he does not want to give the impression that he's crushing on her. He does not want to give that impression. And for a man to go out his way to let it be known, fellas, y'all better slide in her DMs like it ain't me. That's y'all. That's what he was doing when he said that. That this ain't me. Y'all better slide in her DMs. So I think he and Carucci might be a thing. I told y'all a couple of weeks ago she was in Dallas, and I was like, oh, okay. And recently I saw Bill Belichick and apparently his girlfriend, the 24-year-old, was walking back and forth across the field trying to mic him up. She works at UNC now. Oh, maybe she always did. I don't know. But the point is she works there. I guess he got her job there, and she does their social media. And when they said she did his social media, I was like, oh, so she's like Bucky. That's what I was thinking. Not really, not with the camera. She was helping him to get mic'd up, and she was dressed all fancy, and people were talking about what she had on, and they were talking about how Bill Belichick has made it made the declaration that his girlfriend, who works at UNC in some capacity, is to be copied on all of his emails. I was like, Bill is not playing with y'all at all. This is his girlfriend. He don't care what y'all think. And I just want y'all to know, Nico has been crystal ball to UNC with Belichick. You should not be surprised. I told you that earlier today. But I actually read it with my own two eyes after the podcast from earlier today ended. Nico has been crystal balled to UNC. So Coach Bill Belichick has his girlfriend in the midst of everything he got going on at USC. She's supposed to be copied on all of his emails. I was like, now what if Coach Prime was to do that? Let's say Coach Prime was dating somebody. Like, would it really be okay if he just brought his girlfriend who's 24 into the scenario and made sure she got a job and made sure that all the emails that he gets that she's copied on? I'm like, I'm just not believing it would go that smoothly, but I could be wrong. Maybe these things happen all the time and it's not a big deal. But they are sure talking about it online. In addition to her outfits, they're like, she is gonna milk this for every opportunity she can get. I'm like, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure that was one of the perks of her dating him, right? So he got her a job and she doing her thing, all dressed and snazzy on the football field. They're like, now why is she at practice? I'm like, I guess she working with the team. We see Bucky, so we gonna see her. So y'all check it out. Lil Wayne has aligned himself with UNC just like he did with Colorado. He got a little Tunchi jersey. He was taking pictures with Bill Belichick. So, you know, I'm sure he's working the room over there to get more people to represent from UNC. You know, that's why the agency that he's aligned with aligned himself with Lil Wayne, because he knew he would pop in and use his celebrity to bring in clients. And so now he working the room at UNC. There you go. So it says, yes, we know women. She know that dress was too tight. Yes. And I'm like, okay. Now, that's what made me think, okay, she likes him. Because that's women, you know. When we wear stuff like that, and she's like, help me get up. I was like, yeah. See, I think the reason she was in her feelings after, whether she ever admits it or not, I think she always liked Coach Prime. And maybe it goes way back to when we called him Deion Sanders more than we called him Coach Prime. And you know, she grew up in that. And you know, when I guess they got, I don't know how they became co-hosts, but whoever's idea it was or whatever, it just seemed that she felt like there was something there. And I never forget when it was her birthday, she asked him for a G-Wagon and he went and got her the little toy car. That was hilarious. And I don't even think she expected it. I don't think she expected it because she looked surprised. So I think maybe she felt like because maybe he has her on the show as his co-host, maybe he likes her. Maybe that's what she thought. But I see it now. I didn't see it before because I was like, nah, you know, it's just lights, camera, action. But after the whole Karuchi thing, her demeanor changed. And now with the tight dress, I know how women are. You know, when we crushing on you, that's like, okay, you know what that's called? That's called work husband. Okay. So when you have a work husband or a work wife scenario, when you have a work husband, you know, this man buying you candy at work. Oh, you want some lunch? He's attentive to you. Oh, you want some lunch? Oh, I'm going to lunch. I'll get you something. This, that, and the other. He might pull your chair out. Hell, I don't know, at the meeting in the conference room or something like that. But the point is, there's a guy at work that's attentive to you. And as a woman, sometimes, you know, you could feel special and think that even though he's married at home, that he likes you. And in this case, Coach Prime is not married. So if he was that way with her, oh, I want you to be on my show. Oh, Coach Deion Sanders like me. You know, he's wealthy. You know, we talked about that. And he also have a type. And today I saw a picture of her with her bangs. I was like, she looked just like Miss Pilar. So maybe she thought in the beginning, him bringing her on the show, because it is his show, was like flirting. But people say she's flirting with him, and I see it. And he, again, as a man, when a man shoots down your flirting, it's because it's a woman somewhere. That's usually it. If there's not a woman somewhere, he will entertain it. But he has made an effort to make it look crystal clear that he not into her like that. And it's because it's a woman somewhere. And I think the woman is Karuchi, which is her friend. So for her to come out there in that skin tight dress and she's like, help me up the platform. Yeah, they might not be friends after that. Because Karuchi gonna be like, nah, he done told you multiple times, nah, he not into you. He done made it known. I'm watching this show. And he done made it known that he not into you. And here you come out here with this tight dress and this, that, and the other. Friendships die over men all the time. So, if they not friends no more, that's why. But spring games coming up. I'm gonna be looking for Miss Karuchi to see if she popping up on the sidelines because clearly Coach Belichick has his younger girlfriend employed at the university. Now Karuchi got her own job, so she has her own path. But I would expect if they are in a relationship, I would expect her to pop up this weekend. Black and Gold Day is huge. And when you are dating somebody and they were already seen in public, and even his ex-wife gave her gave Coach Prime his blessing where Miss Karuchi was concerned. She was just in Dallas at an appearance. I didn't know she did appearances. So, her career is in a good place. And then she was somewhere else, and then she was somewhere else. I would expect her to make an appearance this weekend at the Black and Gold game. I don't think there's a reason to keep it out the spotlight anymore. His contract is signed. Now the draft is next week, so maybe he want to wait to after the draft. But it shouldn't matter at this point. It shouldn't matter at this point because again, if you saw the picture with Bill Belichick girlfriend traipsing back, the video traipsing back across the field, Coach Prime might as well come on out. He might as well just be public with his relationship because I don't think anybody would care. Females always think. Who said that, John? John said females always think there's something there when there's something to buy. Something to buy? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by there's something to buy? I'm going to need you to explain that. You saying females always think there's something there when there's something to buy. Oh, I think I know what you mean. You mean because, okay, she think it's something between them because she want Coach Prime to buy her something. That's what you mean? Let me know. I need you to confirm it. If not, please expound on your thought. That's hilarious. He said, well, there's something to buy. Okay. All right. John, stay with the hilarity. That is funny. Okay. So that was my dive off into talking about Coach Prime, the latest going on with him. I happened to watch the show and I just happened to notice it myself. I had forgotten that people said that, she liked him. I felt like I saw it when I saw that episode. I said, okay, I see it now. So tomorrow, they actually take the show, I guess, already this week. And this is who's going to be on the show tomorrow. So tomorrow, the Sanders boys. All right. So the NFL draft is coming up. Coach Prime and his co-host have Shiloh, Shador, and Bucky as guests tomorrow. So that's tomorrow. If you watch the show, go check it out. I'll probably try to catch it after. I don't think I'll catch it while it's on. I normally go back and catch the replay. So I'm probably going to be looking at her to see if I can continue to see that she crushing on Coach Prime. But, she'll be on there tomorrow with the Sanders Sons. That's the way they called it. The Sanders Sons on We Got Time Today. So, all right. So that's that. John said, yes, there you go. You got it. Okay. So I get it. Okay. So females always think there's something there when they want somebody to buy them something. Okay. All right. I'm going to go with that. That's possible. Thank you, John. Thank you for that. That's hilarious. Okay. All right. Let me see. Did I go through everything I wanted to go through? Let's see. I put together a lot of photos today. Yeah, I think so. Sincere Brown. We talked about Nico earlier on a separate podcast. So go check that one out. And I think that was the last one. Congratulating Cam Ward. I said that my QB1 is Kaidon Salter, and I want to see Kaidon Salter lead things for Colorado this year. Definitely going into Georgia Tech game. What I do believe is what somebody said yesterday, that Juju will probably take some snaps. I think as the game get further along, let's say we're playing Georgia Tech. Hypothetically, we're up by three touchdowns in the fourth quarter. I could see him come out and take his snaps. I think Kaidon is that guy. I think he's gonna get the nod. But we will see on Saturday. We will stay tuned to see if it's Kaidon for sure. How long do y'all think it'll be before Coach Prime announces who QB1 is? Do y'all think it'll be right before, like maybe in the summer, June, July, before they get back to summer practice and stuff like that? Let me know. Caroline, I'm rereading your message. That's hilarious. So yeah. All right, y'all. I think we're gonna get out of here. We had 2 podcasts today. We talked about Nico earlier. It was very good. Y'all go check it out. It ended up being a video and a podcast. So you can watch both of them, hit the like button for me. If you're new to the channel, hanging out with us tonight, subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow at our regular time for what this feels like my summertime, but it's really grad season. So 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back tomorrow. All right, y'all. So I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. We'll be back tomorrow talking about any breaking news that's out there. We're keeping tabs on what's going on with Nico. Remember, I said that he was, if you weren't here with us at the top of the podcast, Nico, what is his name? I am a Liava. It's crystal ball to the University of North Carolina with Coach Bill Belichick. So stay tuned tomorrow. Keep your notifications on so I might pop back up tomorrow. Thank y'all so much. Have a good night. Thank y'all for watching What She Said podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome fam, it's a vibe. Break it down, talking sports, hard hustle. Wear the crown, subscribe to the journey. Don't sleep on the grind. Hit the like button, come on, don't be blind.